So this is warm welcome from my side. I am your host. I am your coach Gajanan from Bangalore, India, and today's in Agile coaching training session. Today day 10th, and today's session is on overview of Agile framework. This is the first session. Second session will be on Monday, and I am providing little bit information about frameworks. What exactly framework? How framework is working, and in which area or for which project or which team you can apply such kind of frameworks. So let's start, guys. Have a look on agenda. So first point of agenda is what is Scrum and its values, roles and artifacts. Second point is what is Scrum process overview. So I will provide you the entire diagram of Scrum, which is made by me. This diagram will help you guys a lot while you are running your Scrum in your team. Third point is when do you really need Scrum? So this question is really specific and very important because I seen in my past few years that any Scrum Master or any Agile coach applied a Scrum blindly on any project. But this is not true, or this is not a good activity. So I will provide you when you can run your Scrum and in which project you may run the Scrum framework. Fourth point is what is real Kanban and when do you really need Kanban. So I'll provide you information on this, as well as I'll provide you some sort of screenshots also, like how the Kanban is look like and how you can apply it, or which team required which Kanban basically. So let's start with our agenda with our first point. What is Scrum value, roles and artifacts? So basically, Scrum is applied on traditional methodology to break its chain. So what exactly this chain is? So I'm giving an example. In ABC organization, they are following the hierarchy. Say for example, director, managing director, under that VP. Under VP there are program managers. Under every program manager there are project manager, product manager. Under that they have project leaders, then team leaders, senior engineers, junior engineers, and new joinee or fresher guys. Now, this is the entire tree, or this is the entire hierarchy which you have to follow. In traditional methodology, you cannot jump directly, or you cannot bypass your superior. Say for example, if I am a fresher person, I cannot directly communicate with team leaders in many organizations, and this situation is still there, guys, in industry, that you cannot directly bypass your senior engineer or junior engineer and speak with your leader or project leader or project managers. So Scrum says this is something delayed the process. When there are lot many people involved in any kind of process or in any kind of project, at that time communication goes delayed or miscommunication happens. Mainly it comes in a ego part. So sometime we are hurting the ego of our seniors. So this may affect your work, and agile break this entire tree, agile break this entire hierarchy, and agile provided only three roles: scrum master, product owner, and development team, which we called as a scrum team. Now in traditional methodology, what happens in development team, we have a developer as well as testers. But in Scrum or in Agile, we have all developers. We called tester also as a developer because he is developing test cases. He is running those test cases on pre-developed areas and find out is it broken or is it working fine. So this is the reason in development team, all the peoples or all the team members are developers. Now job of product owner, job of scrum master, and job of development team members. So what exactly they have their roles and responsibility. So guys, if you see my screen, this is the role and responsibility of product owner. So product owner is a person who continuously in communication with stakeholders, with customers, trying to get not only requirement but even sometime UI designs also. If it is a development kind of project, then product owner get the UI designs also, which are drawn on paper mostly. So stakeholder create a rough diagram, rough paperwork, and provided those rough paperwork to product owner. Product owner gather all the information with these papers, with this information, convert it into a product backlog in a specific requirement. Now this is a job of product owner to communicate continuously with stakeholders and customer business analyst guys, gather entire information, however whichever maximum information he or she can, gather it from stakeholders and customers, analyze that particular information, make an analyze document, as well as convert it into the product backlog, where a product owner convert it into the epic stories, task, subtask. Now what exactly this epic story, task and subtask? So if I'm giving an example, epic, maybe I say epic is a parent, story is a child of that particular parent, and task and subtask are grandchilds. Now when product owner work on epic, at that time product owner provided the epic with all detailed descriptions, with acceptance criteria, and same for story also. Now this is a job of team members. If they feel that particular story is too big or particular epic is too big, then they can break it down in task and subtask. This is something which has done by team members, because they are going to work on that particular requirement, on that particular story. So this is for their information. Now once this product backlog is done, product owner provided this product backlog again to stakeholders and business guys, and ask them, is it a correct product backlog, or am I missing something? So they provided their valuable inputs on that particular product backlog items, as well as priorities, like which requirement they required when. Now once gather this entire information with finalized product backlog items or list, product owner provided this entire backlog to Scrum Master for product backlog health check. Now Scrum Master is a person who verify this entire product backlog based on health check method. Once this health check method is passed, then provide it to development team for their reading and their understanding. Once team member go through this product backlog, mostly team members are focused on urgent and higher priority areas, and based on this urgent and higher priority areas, once they read everything, they come up with their all questions, and they provide a meeting invite to product owner for backlog grooming. Again guys, this is a job of team members, not Scrum Masters every time. So they provided a meeting invite for product backlog grooming, invite product owner in that. Scrum Master is an optional person here. Scrum Master may participate, may not participate, but usually Scrum Master participated in product backlog grooming session to find out the motive of this meeting is there, and none of a person, even product owner and team members, are not going on off track. If something happens like this, or if the discussion moves in a war zone, then Scrum Master raise the hooter and ask the team members to come up online and only discuss those things for which we applied this particular meeting. After that, in a sprint planning meeting, again same, this invite is raised by team members for product owner. Scrum Master is again optional here, but Scrum Master participated to view that team members are giving the appropriate estimations. This is not overburden or overestimated. This should be fitted in that particular sprint, and who is going to work in which area, this information Scrum Master should know. That's why Scrum Master is participated. After that, daily stand up will going on. Again, in daily stand up, this particular ceremony is designed for team members only. Product owner and Scrum Master both are optional here. team members provided their information to each other, like what they did yesterday, what they plan for today, and is there any impediments or any blockers they are facing right now? Are they required any help from anybody, or are any uh, communication delayed? So these point they just highlighted, and this meeting is moved out. So this meeting will be done in a 15-minute every day. Scrum Master participated in this meeting to verify that the agenda of meeting is followed by team members and none of a person is avoiding that particular agenda and started discussion on some different areas. Now, after this sprint health check meeting is done by Scrum Master only. All team members and product owners are optional in this. Guys, Scrum Master is verifying are we on track or are we off track. In these meetings, whatever the result comes from this meeting, Scrum Master provided this result to product owner so that in an early manner, product owner can communicate with stakeholders and customers that which of the requirement they can view in demo and which of the requirement they may view in our next sprint. Now, after that, demo and retrospective meetings are done. In demo meeting, everybody is invited, including stakeholders and customers. If required, Scrum Master arrange a pre-demo meeting, which we called as a demo meeting. And this meeting is specifically to identify that whatever final demo we are giving, in which fashion, which manner we are giving that particular demo, what is the order of done product action area, which requirement we will go first, which requirement we will go last, and which requirement we will gather in the middle. So these all the things they consider and done this pre-demo meeting with product owner and given the entire demo to product owner. After final demo in retrospective, again this meeting is invited by team members for product owner and scrum masters, and in this meeting mostly team member provided what exactly they feel in their last sprint or in exact the sprint which finish recently. So are they scary? Are they happy? Are they introduced with fun? They enjoyed the sprint, they pressurized the sprint, they feel alone in the sprint, or it's a boring sprint. Whatever it is, so they provided their communication, thoughts, and everything in that particular meeting. Based on this, Scrum Master may identify the action items and provided those action items to concerned person to avoid same situations, same risky situation in next sprint. So this is basically product owner and development team's role. Now what exactly Scrum Master is doing? So Scrum Master may be a person who is communicating or who is making a bridge, unknown bridge between product owner and team members. Now if I am saying product owner have a larger picture, he knows what exactly going on in production for next 3 to 4 quarters. Maybe Scrum Master knows what exactly going on in production for next at least 2 to 3 quarters. So Scrum Master is a person who knows where exactly we have to change, what exactly we have to change, and how we have to change. Scrum Master have a team dynamics. He always monitor and always force for that. If required, he push, but he or she is not able to provide any decision in any sort of areas. Decision making power is only product owner have. Scrum Master and team doesn't have this power, guys, in Agile. Scrum Master can make a mirror of sprint if required. Like if any sprint we are delivered zero production. So in that case, Scrum Master can arrange a mirror sprint for that particular sprint and try to complete the work at least 90% and provide the demo. Now in learnings, if team members are lacking somewhere in terms of technology, in terms of process, in terms of other areas, in terms of communication, in terms of disputes between team members, between outside team members, between client, between product owner, then Scrum Master is a person who provided the education, coaching, training, mentoring them and make them align again. Scrum Master knows the other task also from production area or from product backlog, which Scrum Master is try to inline or make a sequence for those particular tasks and stories. Scrum Master is a person who always monitor on production while we are delivering something from development environment to production environment or pre-production environment. So Scrum Master is a person who always verify the health of that particular deliveries as well as qualities on the behalf of team member. Say for example my team is completely busy in 8 hours, but few team members required some sort of communications from other team members or from outside team members. They required some sort of solutions. They are facing some sort of blockers or waiting, and they are not able to do the follow up for this. Then Scrum Master is a person who take this responsibility on their shoulder, and on the behalf of that team, those team members, Scrum Master follow these all the things. Scrum Master do the follow up. Scrum Master try to make the communication more and more fair and transparent. Scrum Master is a person who try to push these things so that team members can get the solution in an early time frame, and we will not goes in a slippage on any kind of areas. So Scrum Master is a person who do all these things, and this is the reason we called Scrum Master as a servant leader. He is not a servant. He is a servant leader who do that particular job on the behalf of you guys or on the behalf of team member. It's not his or her job, it's not his or her responsibility, but he is doing it for you. Now Scrum Master knows more little picture than product owner while dealing with product or while dealing with client. If your product owner is not reachable or is not available or avoiding the communication, avoiding the meetings or avoiding the response, in that case Scrum Master have the power that Scrum Master can replace themselves with product owner, take a charge of product owner and act as like a product owner also as well as Scrum Master. He or she is a person who communicate with end client, get the requirement and provided those requirement to team members. If product owner is doing any sort of mistakes, then Scrum Master is a person who guide product owner, who coach product owner, who train product owner and make the things more and more flexible and happiest way. So by this way guys, Scrum Master, product owner and Scrum team or Agile team is working in Scrum framework. This is basically a Scrum diagram guys. If you see at the left side panel, here is a production and cloud environment, which is a client's environment where client's entire product is available. Here is a client people's, client stakeholders or business guys, and our product owner is sitting. They just interchange their views or thoughts in terms of requirement. Product owner gather all the requirement, make a backlog and provided that backlog for verification to client. Once client provided the sign off, then this backlog comes for Scrum Master. Scrum Master verifies it and provide it to team members. Now once this entire thing is done, then ceremonies are started. So first ceremony is product backlog review or product backlog grooming. Then product backlog refinement, where we discuss about the product backlog requirements, what is high priority, what is urgent priority, and what exactly client required from our side. After that, sprint planning is done. Then sprint is started. Then daily stand-ups meetings are started for 15 minutes every day. If team is sitting under one roof, then maybe we call this meeting in a meeting room area or in an open area. If team is sitting in a geographical area, then maybe we call this meeting on video conferences like Jabber or Webex. After that, sprint backlog review or sprint health check review meeting is done. This ceremony is done by Scrum Master, as I told you. After that, sprint retrospective is done. So before sprint retrospective, we do a sprint demo, and in sprint demo we added only those features which are totally completed, totally developed, tested, and now ready to release on production environment or pre-production environment. So only those things we showcase in our demo. After that, we done our retrospective. If surprises happens by team or by any reason, then maybe we called as the root cause analysis. We provided all the necessary output with this root cause analysis and with all justifiable answers. These answers may be in terms of technical language or maybe in terms of business language, why the surprises are appear at the last moment. Maybe some sort of blocker, maybe because of waiting, maybe because of miscommunication or communication delayed, and so on. There are n number of reasons. Because of that, last moment surprises are appear, and we, after done a root cause analysis, which we called as a RCA report, we provided the reasons, and we provided this reason to not only management but even client, and assure them that going forward we will take care of these areas and these areas will not repeat again. We will provide you a flexible and unstoppable continuously quality work. Now once demo is done, it goes for final shippable product in client's environment, where client will analyze, verify it in pre-production area. After pre-production, it goes into client's environment where it added value in client's production area. So by this way, guys, Scrum is working, and this is a very helpful or very useful diagram. Now here I am giving some sort of tricks, guys. If you are doing your product backlog refinement meeting for 2 hours, and in product backlog refinement meeting, if you done your who will work in which area of requirement, how much time that person is required, then maybe your sprint planning will happen within only 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, you just need to provide the card number, which card number you accepted for sprint, and that's it, and then you can start your sprint. So you saved your sprint planning timing here. In sprint backlog review meeting, so all the team members are not required, because we know every team member is busy in an entire sprint. So this is a job of Scrum Master, who either visit the tools, agile project management tools, and get the information, same time communicate one on one with each and every team members for 2 to 3 minutes or maybe 5 minutes, and just get the result, where exactly they are right now, what kind of issues they are facing, and are they able to complete the task or job within a time. So based on Scrum Master's gut feeling, Scrum Master create the report and submitted this report to product owner and higher management. In sprint retrospective, Scrum Master and product owner are on silent mode, because entire team is talking with their views and with their options, ideas, and based on that, Scrum Master just identified the action items. So by this way, guys, you can make this process more faster. Okay, second framework is Kanban. So guys, what exactly Kanban is? So basically, if I'm saying it's a whiteboard or blackboard, which provide me the entire information or entire picture about my team, what exactly going on in my team, which story is where exactly right now, who is working on that particular story, and from how long that person is working on that particular story. We are on track, off track, are we able to complete our targeted task within a time zone or not. So if this information somebody is giving me without human intervention, then maybe I call that particular framework as a Kanban framework. Now guys, here are few benefits from Kanban. Kanban is altogether a separate framework. you can apply it separately without using Agile or Scrum. You can apply it directly. Using Kanban, you can try to limit your work in progress, because if I am started my Scrum, uh, few daily I am viewing that something is in progress there. In Kanban, you may provide a limits that if you reach a bottleneck of work in progress, then maybe you can stop there your team members and ask there that first you have to clear the work in progress backlog, and then we will accept the next targeted task. So by this way we can provide a limit to our work in progress areas. Few benefits: you can see the bottleneck very early stages, you can monitor it, you can make a solutions for that, and you can push it. uh, this is a shorter cycle. uh, there is no time limit if you are using Kanban. It's completely depend upon you how much time you want to invest using Kanban for your each and every task. It reduces the inventory almost from 25% to 75 or 80%, and also reducing a company cost also, which company is invested on any kind of product or production areas. In Kanban, mostly if priorities are changed, then those priorities are visible very early manner on Kanban board, or maybe frequently you can make changes in your priority and display it on your Kanban board, because it's a completely visualized board. Guys, I'm telling you the theory, this theory is in front of you, but maybe this is very hard to imagine you guys, so I am going. So this is a basic Kanban board, guys. This is very basic Kanban board where I am providing the entire picture. Now, as a layman, if I visit this basic Kanban board, then I know which tasks are in to-do list. So these tasks are not yet started, but we have targeted that we will work on this task also in progress. In progress, those tasks are here on which my team is working right now. Either those are in progress, or either those are in waiting or in blocker stages, where due to some reason team members are not able to continue their work or to complete their work, and who is working on that particular task. So if you see here, the name of person is appear here, the name of person is appear. So by this way I know which person is working on which task, where exactly that task is, and from how long that particular task is. So this is a basic Kanban board which maybe you can use in your teams, guys. If I say day-to-day Kanban, so in day-to-day Kanban, this is a some sort of generic Kanban board which maybe you can use with your team members, and you can find out where exactly we are. So if I am telling more about this Kanban board, so requested things are there already. Uh, in soon areas, I will provide those areas. Just give me a second, guys. Yeah. So in soon areas, I will provide those tasks on which we will work very soon, but not immediately, but very soon we will work on those tasks. So those tasks I will show in a soon area. As per priority, this task numbering or the task priorities may change. In next area, maybe we will provide those tasks which I will work immediate after my current task. In now area, I will provide those tasks on which my team is working right now or targeted right now. In progress, those tasks which are currently in progress, team is working and smoothly everything is going on. Once these tasks are done, I will provide these tasks in done section. Now guys, if I am saying the aging about every task or every requirement, then maybe I must say when I am selecting particular task for my working area or for my Kanban board, from that day the age is started till I am moving it into the done area. Then maybe few of my tasks may be completed within 8 hours, few of my tasks will be continue for 8 days also. So that's the aging. And specifically every behind every aging there is a reason, there is a justifiable answer why that particular task or card took that much time. So we have to provide that particular information while releasing that particular card to management if management asks. Now next is portfolio Kanban board. So guys, basically this Kanban board required higher management because these guys are monitoring lot many teams at a time. These guys are monitoring the entire project at a time, and these guys provided the statuses to director, managing director, and clients higher level people. So this is a portfolio management board. If your scrum master or product owner created this portfolio management board and provided the input from your day-to-day Kanban board to this board, then maybe your management will get to know where exactly we are right now, where we where will be we are we where will we in next 3 months or in next 6 months, what exactly the roadmap for our development or in our for our progress, what exactly current progress is, so which things are in progress right now, which things are sign off, and which things are done. Guys, here we mark only those story as a done which we are already released on production, so that management will also sure that these tasks are completed and right now running on client's production area. So this is basically a portfolio. Next is a software development team board. Guys, here are in progress. There are three different slots: development, testing, and sign off. Because every team is working, so every team is provided their progress. So this is the reason this Kanban board is look like this. And when I'm viewing this Kanban board, at that time I get to know which tasks are in testing right now, which tasks are in development, which tasks are waiting for sign off, and which tasks are right now done. So everything is done: development, testing, sign off, everything is done, and now it's ready to move on production environment. Now here one more thing is available, nice to have. So guys, if I say my team is given the estimation uh, in maybe overconfidence, and they took many tasks in their plate, and now they came to know that we are not able to finish these tasks, so maybe we will provide those all tasks in nice to have area. If these tasks completed in same sprint, still fine. If these tasks are not completed in that time frame, maybe we will carry forward these tasks from one iteration to next iteration. So this is the reason this nice to have area is also there, guys. Next board is strategic portfolio board. In this area, guys, as I said, epic and stories are created by product owner, and this is a board where VP, managing director, and directors are visited, and they get to know what exactly going on in our production area or in our development area. So here, if you see, these all are epics, and if you see here are some checks and some check boxes. So these are stories, and using this information, management easily get to know in which epic which story is done, and rest of the stories which are not marked checked are in progress, or maybe we will consider in coming few iterations. So by this way, guys, your higher management can understand what exactly going on in the product area or with your team areas, because this Kanban board provided the entire information and no need of any human intervention. If they have any queries, questions, then maybe they will ask these queries question to program manager or project manager, and these guys will help them to understand this particular board. Next is a IT operation portfolio board. So guys, as I said, in IT area or in software development area, uh, every team have different flavor. Say for example, operation team is doing something else work, support team is doing something else work, DevOps team where development and operation going in a joint venture, these guys will do some different work. Development team is doing some different work. So every team has different work, different working culture, different working zones. So based on their working culture and working zone, these boards are available. Same for IT operation portfolio board also. In this board, what exactly in breakdown right now, what exactly in progress, what exactly is on hold, why that is on hold, which things are completed and sign off already, which things are abandoned. Abandoned means we are not working due to some specific reasons, so we consider those things in abandoned area also. So by this way guys, we are providing the entire picture of our project in a current days, and once we provided this picture to management, management will get to know where exactly we are, if required any improvement, or if required to make any changes in process or in our culture, then management can immediately start work on those areas. So for this guys, basically these Kanban boards are used. Now anyone have any queries, any questions, they can ask me. Anybody?
My question is,
Yeah.
do you just marked how many items would just be in one column? But for me, it is just not clear. It is just how many items per person or per team.
Yeah, in Kanban board, basically you are showing your current working structure. So in current working structure in board, you provided only those items which are either in progress. If you are making a Kanban board for a half year or for 1 quarter, then maybe you have to provide in which area right now we are working, immediate after that on which area we will work. So these are priorities based on client's requirement. These are priorities which comes from client, and we are just showcasing those all the things in our Kanban board. So likewise we are just showing the picture, and when team is working using Kanban board, at that time if team completed any work, then team moves those tasks from one status to another. Maybe I can say from in progress to complete, or from ready to start to in progress. So by this way team can change the status of task in every Kanban board. I hope I satisfied your question.
Uh, Sort of. Let me be more specific. When we are just we have a sprint. It is just started, and let's say we have 5 developers. Every developer got 2 tasks, for
Mm-hmm.
example,
Mm-hmm.
and we just say, okay, just to fulfill the flow and everything, the on progress in progress is just maximum 2 items. But it means 2 items per person, right? So not the whole team.
Yeah, exactly. 2 items for per person, because if per person is goes more than 2 items, then maybe it's a messy situation arises very soon in your team to push or to move those in progress item from in progress area to done side. So if something is in progress, and from now here I'm giving a specific thing, you can give a time for your in progress items. Say maybe for team wise you can give 1.5 day for each in progress item. If it goes beyond 1.5 hours, say 1.5 days, then maybe you can ask that particular person why it is taking much time. So is there anything delayed? Is there anything which stopping the work? If it is, then you can move it from in progress to blocker, or in a waiting stage. Still it is in progress, but it is blocker due to some reason. Now it's a time to take action on that particular area, because already 1.5 days are left. So Scrum Master or product owner can took immediate action and provide the result or a solution on those areas, or communicate with client if this if something is outside their boundaries, then communicate with client that due to these reasons which are outside our boundaries, we are not able to provide this particular requirement in this particular sprint, and immediately ask the person who is working on those areas to start work on next target or maybe on a next item, so that at least that person can complete next item within a time frame. So by this way you can tackle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I see. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other queries? Any other question, guys?
I have one question, Gajanan. I perhaps missed like 5 minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I was distracted in between. So, the Kanban board created and maintained by the Scrum Master, right?
Uh, Partially yes, partially no. Kanban board is created by Scrum Master, which is true. The report of Kanban board is provided by Scrum Master whenever required or whoever required, is true. But to maintain the entire Kanban board is a job of team members, because Scrum Master is only pull the report from Kanban board, but this is a job of team members. Whenever they complete any task, they can move that particular task from one status to another, or if somewhere they face any blocker or any waiting stage, they have to move this item and communicate immediately with Scrum Master and product owner. If team is busy, in that case on the behalf of team, Scrum Master will do this job, but this is not Scrum Master's responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you have shown several Kanban boards,
Yeah.
different types of.
Yeah.
Um, are these maintained separately, or they are just maintained by the team? And then, let's say, the strategic portfolio board is derived from the development board.
Okay, so I am giving some sort of light
Is there
here.
a connection? My question is there a connection with all the boards, or maintained only once, and then different views are generated for different people?
Yeah, so this is the exact point. Scrum Master maintain only one board, but when management or higher management or client peoples ask them a status in a board format, at that time Scrum Master gather the entire information from team board. Now why team board? Because team board is very simple, understandable for team and easy for team to move the task from one place to another place. Now Scrum Master gather the entire information from team board and provide it as an input for those board which are used for management, maybe strategic board, maybe portfolio board, maybe some other boards. And if management ask Scrum Master to maintain that board, then maybe Scrum Master can maintain that board. But these boards are updated very rarely. Maybe I can say once or twice in a week. But the board which team members are using, that board they updated many times, even in a day also. They are updated that particular board many times.
Okay. And in that case, the team board is regularly maintained.
Yeah.
For management, there is a, let's say, a weekly reporting cycle
Yeah.
when the Scrum Master is preparing special books for the management, or it's the product owner who is doing this.
uh, Scrum Master is managing that particular board. Product owner is involved in that. Product owner is in a loop of that, because product owner should know what exactly going on in team and in production area. So product owner is already involved in that. Uh, these boards you do not require to create manually. I am suggesting if you are using any agile project management tool, say for example Jira or Guard or any other tool. Kanbanize is one of a tool, or any IBM related tools. So if you create a management board once, if you create a team board once, then you need not require to maintain anything, because if your team is updating their team board only daily basis, based on that board, immediately within fraction of second your management board will automatically updated, and these updations done by the tool itself. So Scrum Master have only one time efforts for this.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more question, guys? Any other question? Guys, this is just an overview about Kanban and Scrum. If you want detail in Kanban and Scrum, maybe I can arrange few days session on these areas for you. Same like 1 hour daily. And I'll provide you in-depth, in detail knowledge about Kanban and Scrum. Here again, one thing guys, if you want to use purely Scrum in Agile, you can use it without Kanban. If you want to use purely Kanban without Scrum, you can use it. With Kanban, you can set up your limits for time boxes, and you can use your Kanban in your project. If you want to collaborate, if you want both the side view, like you want to manage it as like a Scrum also, and you want the views from Kanban side also, so you can mix these both the frameworks with each other, which we called as a Scrum Ban. Scrum Ban means Scrum and Kanban working together under Agile. So Kanban is flexible that much, which will use in Agile with Scrum, and we called it as a Scrum Ban, guys, and you can use it in your teams. Scrum is specifically designed to maintain development kind of projects only. Kanban you can use in any project, any sort of project. There is no limit for Kanban. Kanban is like that color which will mix in any areas, maybe in water, maybe in other colors also. So you can utilize Kanban in any frame, in any project. So these are the basic difference, guys. Now I am asking a question in a different language. Guys, did you understand what is Scrum? Why Scrum? Where exactly I have to use Scrum? What is Kanban? Why Kanban? And where exactly I have to use Kanban?
Yeah, I am.
Hi. I am not listening other attendees response, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, and it was very understandable. Thank you. It's clear for me.
Thank you. Uh, just a simple question, guys. Yeah, yeah. Something is saying something.
I just want to add, I also like the sessions very much, and I would really appreciate if you would do some dedicated sessions about Kanban, because I want to really want to know more about that.
Sure, why not? First session I'll give you immediately from next Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday, I'm starting session on tools, where I will provide you a detail about Kanban. So using Jira, how many Kanban boards we can create? How can we customize this board? Again, I'll show you if I am creating team Kanban board and project Kanban board, and if I done update on one Kanban board, how will the other Kanban board automatically updated? So these all the informations I'll give you guys from next Wednesday. Please don't miss any session. You will get the knowledge for Kanban. You will get the knowledge about tools also. In tool, I am giving knowledge about Jira and Confluence. This session will start from almost next Wednesday to till 18th of May. So till the time I'll give you the entire detail information practically uh, in my this WebEx series. After that also, if you want more detail only about Kanban, I'll specifically arrange a separate session after this Webex series for Kanban, and maybe within 2-3 days I'll provide you the entire information for Kanban also. So this is my promise.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Still, I want to know from your side, guys, if you have any queries, any questions. Okay, I'll ask you the question. Say for example, uh, it's a job of product owner, that product owner should provide the product backlog area or product list of product backlog. Now, say for example, my product owner created a product backlog entirely, and after that, due to some reason, product owner goes on leave for 3 months, and sprint size is 2 week. He has provided more enough product areas or more enough producting requesting cards. Now, how to run the entire sprint? Should I wait for him to come back, join us, and then we will start our sprint, or should we continue our sprint? And if we continue our sprint, how to continue our sprint, because product owner is not there?
Scrum Master should take over.
Okay, Scrum Master can take the role and Scrum Master can run these things, but say for example, within a time frame or within a sprint, due to some reason, Scrum Master is also not available. He is also goes on vacation. In that case, what should team will do?
My suggestion is
Yeah,
start the sprint. Let's look the items.
yeah.
Take the top prio.
Mhm.
If we have any hesitation
Mhm.
because it is just not clearly defined, just drop. Take the other one. So fill the sprint with the top prio items which are absolutely understandable.
Yeah, exact proper answer. Thank you so much, Tibor. This answer is very proper. I am adding few things in this. Guys, if something is not clear for you, something is confusing, your Scrum Master and Product Owner is not available, then team has a opportunity. They can directly communicate with stakeholders or business analyst, internal business analyst and clients business analyst also. Because when we are running Scrum at that time, when we are running Agile at that time, Agile provides you architect, project architect who handle all technical areas. With product owner, organization also provided business analyst or maybe chief business analyst. These guys know a bigger picture of your project, so you can directly connect with these guys and try to communicate, get the information from these guys, understand everything, and you can continue your work. Still, if you are facing blockers, these guys are not available, then as Tibor says, you can drop that particular story for next sprint, and you can continue with those stories which you know very well, which on which you can complete your work within a time frame, and you can provide your sustainable result at the end of sprint. So guys, Agile never says that if Agile has provided role and responsibility to some person, they have to stick with that. In such cases where urgency happens, where due to some reasons these persons are not available, then Agile says rest of the person can took the charge, can take over those positions and continue their work. It is additional benefit for them when we, in terms of when we are saying growth from team side. So growth may be from both the side, technological point of view and team point of view. If I am a senior engineer and if I want a promotion as a team leader, then maybe I should know what team leader is doing. If my team leader is absent, in that case I'll take over the charge of team leader and try to wear that hat so that I can understand, I can learn what my team leader is doing, what my scrum master is doing, what my product owner is doing. And based on these learning, I am growing myself. Technical point of view, if you are lacking somewhere, maybe you can ask for trainings, but these are something practical things which you learn or which maybe your team member learn, and in future maybe you may got a good leader from your team members. You can promote any person as a good leader from your team members. So this is the reason agile is very flexible in all areas, and agile never force anyone, that whatever role and responsibilities are given by agile to that particular person, that particular person should stick to that particular areas. If required, you can wear many hats at a time also. Last time guys, I am asking if anybody have any query, any question.
Additional questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So guys, after this training session, I'll convert this video file in a viewable file and I'll upload it on YAM event, from where you got the WebEx link and you join my session. As well as I'll upload this video on Agile Training WebEx series also, which is available on YamTube. You can visit anywhere, you can revisit this video if you want, you can understand the things. If something is confusing somewhere, if you have any query, question, you can write to me and I will provide the answers on those areas as much detail as I can. So thank you so much guys, have a nice weekend and stay safe.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice weekend too. Bye bye.
Thank you, bye.